start a family here. So we started a family here in Switzerland, and I would say officially, that's when I would say I joined this very great IPOB family. Thank you, Mazi.
Thank you, which means you were born again 2012. That's great.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now, the next question is this. What does Biafra mean to you? What does Biafra mean to you?
My brother, Biafra means everything to me. Everything. In fact, I don't even know if there is a word to describe what it means to me. I can find that word, but it means everything to me. And we are here. We have been baptized into this very noble course that Onyendu is leading us, and we shall be here until Biafra is restored. Biafra means everything to me. I mean, I can't think of in fact, some of us have even been making arrangements never to return back to the zoo before we found out that this very great movement is being run by our leader. We have made up our mind that that's not a place for us. And now that we have an opportunity to, make sure that we have a place that we really call a home, call our own, a place where we can show our nationalism, where we can give all for our people. It means everything for me, Mazi.
Thank you, which means Biafra is opposite of Nigeria to you. That's what I understand.
Well, opposite. In fact, Biafra is opposite of every other thing. Here, I'm in Switzerland, yes. Life is good here, yes. But I cannot exchange if Biafra, if we say now Biafra is coming tomorrow, I'm going to be the first person who is going to pack my baggages and go back down to Biafra land. It's as simple as that. That is how important it is for me that this nation emerges very, very quickly.
Okay, we move on. Listeners, do not forget that you are listening to Tough Talk.
Tough Talk, Tough Talk, Tough Talk, Tough Talk, Tough Talk, Tough Talk.
You are listening to Tough Talk, coming to you via Radio Biafra Hausa service.
Welcome back, listeners. Do not forget that today is the 4th day of December 2021. Mazi Chika Edoziem, you are our host today in this Tough Talk program. Now, let me ask you.
Your guest, you mean, right?
Yes, you are my guest, sorry. When did you join the Directorate of States and when did you become the HOD, please?
Okay. Well, I became a member of the Directorate of State precisely in 2014. And that was by virtue of my position then of my position of service to the Biafran people then as the European continental rep. And I was in the DOS, and also I was made. I was the secretary to the Director of State at that time, and after the crisis we had, or the challenges we had in 2015, 2016, that entailing the arrest of our leader, and then and all the things that happened at that time, the difficult moment we had. And then he's coming out in 2017. And then, of course, he did a reorganization of the Directorate of State at the time he came out. And I was requested, I was asked to serve in a different capacity, to serve the Biafran people in the capacity of the head of directorate. And precisely that was in April 2017. And of course, to serve Biafrans, I will serve Biafrans if Onyendu, and whenever Onyendu asks me to serve Biafrans, it doesn't matter in whatever capacity. So he requested me to take up that task in 2017, and I accepted to do that, and that's where I'm still at this very moment.
There are many talks up and down. People are saying many things about the DOS. Let me ask you this. As the HOD, do you receive salary from IPOB, or does any DOS member receive salary from IPOB, please?
Mazi, well, straight to the answer to that question, and a straight answer is no, not at all. I do not receive any remuneration in whatever shape or form as the head of directorate of the indigenous people of Biafra. And let me just say, this is just for the sake of clarity. I have run the DOS, the directorate. I have run it for 4 years now, on my personal cost. If you understand what I mean. This Directorate of State is the institution that runs the affairs of this very movement. And from the moment I was given that responsibility, I have run it for 4 years on my own personal cost. But I have to quickly say that this small sacrifice that I made is nothing in comparison to what our leader has sacrificed for this very struggle. It is nothing. It pales in comparison to what he has done. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu leads from the front. We have learned so much from him. We know and we knew what he has put in terms of financial denials of himself and comfort, denying himself comfort the time he was in London. Somebody who sold all he had and had to, use his car as a temporary abode because he wants to serve his people. This is the key word, to serve his people. He wanted to do something for the benefit of the Biafran people. And this is the strength of IPOB. This is what those who are devoted and committed to this very movement, this is what we have learned from him. Because we have seen it. It's not that somebody who tells you do and he does something different. No. Whatever he tells you to do, he will have done it. Whatever whatever situation you find yourself, whatever sacrifice you may have been making in this very struggle, you will know that your leader has given double of that sacrifice. We're not even talking about the personal loss that he has incurred now speaking about the loss of his parents, his father and mother. While this struggle is going on, he's also lost his mother-in-law. These are sacrifices that are unsurpassable. And the little that any of us, could, make in this struggle, it is only for the love of the Biafran people, And we will continue to do as Chukwabema blesses us, as Chukwabema gives us his grace, and we will continue to serve. We will continue to sacrifice what is needed, what is necessary until Biafra is restored. That answers one part of your question. Not at all. I have never. And that I'm not going to receive any salary because this is not a situation of salary. It hasn't come to issue of salary. And I want to tell you, how many people are we going to pay salary? IPOB, how many are we going to pay salaries, by the way? IPOB is not George Orwell's Animal Farm, if I want to say that. It's not like we are, in George Orwell's Animal Farm, they said all animals are equal, but some are more equal than the other. And that comes to your second question, if there are members of DOS that are receiving salary. Of course, the answer is no, and capital no for that matter, because you cannot be paying members of the Director of State salary, and then you don't pay a member, you don't pay the coordinators, national coordinators salary, you don't pay our zonal coordinators salary, you don't pay those who are manning different departments in this very struggle, you don't pay them salary. It will be like we are replicating the nonsense that is going on in this zoo. So I am not receiving salary, and no member of the US is receiving salary. But I have to say this. There is a member of the US that had a special arrangement with our leader, because our leader asked that person to give up her job. And that person gave up her job. Now, to my understanding, that arrangement is not a salary, but it is a way to ensure that this person, because she was asked to relinquish her former job, it has to be, and that's, when you live in Europe, you have to pay your bills as well. So it has to be that Oyenu made an arrangement to a personal arrangement with this very individual to make sure that this person is not on the street. But any member of the DOS receiving salary, and this is not also a salary payment, because if it is a salary thing, I would have been officially been informed by our leader. And because I was not informed officially about that, it is therefore no salary, and there is no other person as far as this struggle is concerned that I know of that is receiving salary, not a member of the directorate, and not any other person as a principal servant. We know that we assist our people when they are in need, which we continue to do. Those in Biafra land, we Onyendu do not pay them salary, but there was a time also that Onyendu promised to be assisting them to carry out their functions. And these things, it happens that maybe when the funds are not there, you don't come and say you haven't been paid any salary, because it's not, you're not employed per se. We must remember, Mazi, that we are on a volunteer job for the Biafran people. Volunteer job fully. Before anybody come in here and before any of us came in, we knew what we were going into. We knew that it is a volunteer job. There is no salaries to be paid. Rather, you are expected to give in your time. You are expected to give in your resources, financial or otherwise, to ensure that your duties, your responsibilities are carried out effectively and efficiently. So I wouldn't know if that answered your question.
Yes.
Nobody in the DOS is receiving any salary.
If I may ask, add on the question, how then do you cope with your work and the daily or day-to-day demands and activities of HOD? Because the little I'm doing, it's not easy, because you need to, as you say, you need to pay bills, take care of your siblings, both where you are and at home, anything. Now, how do you cope up?
Yes, it's been hectic. It's been hectic and really hectic. But I can tell you that we give glory to Chukwu Abiyama. Chukwu Okike do not bring or send his children or servants on a message. And there is a way our people say that Chukwu Abiyama ade bunye mmadụ ọlụ ọma n'onwe. So, and what I also have found out that if you are an IPOB, if you are pursuing Biafra in truth and all honesty, you do not lack. Honestly, you will not lack. And I have not lacked. I'm not lacking. And many of us, like I said, we who are in this movement, those not now, I'm not now talking about the principal servants. Many of us are surprised at times how doors are open for us when we are in need. And it will continue to be like that until we reach our destination. So I cannot lie to you that it's been easy. No, it's not been easy. The strain is there upon you as a person. The strain is there upon those around you as family. Sometimes you even abandon your family because the most important thing for you is to do your work as a Biafran principal servant. So we thank Chukwu Abiyama for his mercies so far.
Okay. Have you ever been contacted directly or indirectly by any Nigerian political elite?
Nigeria, oh my goodness, not at all. I'm sorry about that, but not at all, not in the least, not in a dream, not in a dream. And of course, certainly it cannot happen in the real life. I've made it clear to those who are working with me, especially very high-ranking officers, that my contact must not on any account be made available to any person who is a politician in the zoo, whether he's of Biafran descent or not. I do not have anything to do with them, and I do not wish to have anything to do with them. So I have not had any contact. In fact, as a matter of fact, when I see a call, if I receive a call with the Zoo International call dial code, if I don't know the number, I don't take it. I don't take it because I do not even want to hear anybody tell me he's that and you're a politician. So no, I have no contact with them. I will not have any contact with them. In fact, not even after Biafra has come. I have no business with politicians. I'm not a politician myself. Thank you, Mazi.
Thank you. Now, let's go on. Are you satisfied with the current members of the VOS? Or do you have difficulties with the constituents, with the people, any of them?
To be very frank with you, the people in the Directorate of State are very, very great individuals. Very great, very devoted, very committed people who are working assiduously in every of their areas of jurisdiction. They are working tirelessly. And you can remember when you put these gentlemen and women together. So I'm sure he must have seen something special in all of them to bring them together as members of the VOS. I believe that the most important thing actually is not only that they are devoted. The most important thing, the most very important thing is that their loyalty is unquestionable. Their loyalty to our leader and to the cause of the Biafran people, to the cause of this very great movement, their loyalty is unquestionable, and that gives me great joy. I must tell you, I'm very, very satisfied to have them as my team, and but I must also say, with the exception of one situation which we have dealt with, where one of us allowed herself to be derailed, allowed herself to be to be bamboozled. She allowed herself to be, led astray. Apart from that, the rest members of the DOS are very honorable people, and they are working 7 Biafran people for the restoration of Biafra. I am satisfied with all of them. Mazi.
Tough talk, tough talk, tough talk, tough talk, tough talk, tough talk.
You are listening to Tough Talk coming to you via Radio Biafra Hausa service.
And do not forget that today is the 4th day of December 2021, being Saturday. Our guest today is Mazi Edoziem, the head of the Directorate of States of the indigenous people of Biafra all over the world. Mazi, now we go on. You know, some people see your leadership as weak because of some hardline decisions you take and withdrew at the last minute. Some people also want to see many more things taking place on ground as when Onyendu was outside. How do you address this issue now, please? You should address this issue because that is how some people are thinking, that your leadership is weak. Go on, please.
Well, thank you, Mazi. First of all, I want to tell our people, those of you who are listening to me tonight, there will never, ever be 2 Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And let me call his name fully. Kamano Zuzu. There will never be 2 of his kind. Not today, not tomorrow, not after Biafra comes. There will never be 2 of his kind. Our people must not fall into the temptation of trying to compare me, a nobody like myself, with our leader. For what reason? On what level now? If I want to use that word, it doesn't make any sense. On a more serious note, there is no basis of thinking you want to place myself, you want to place our leader on a scale, and you want to place me on the same scale with Onyendu. That is an insult to the spirit leader of this movement. We all have drank from the wisdom that emanated from his mouth, from his lips, and we will continue as long as this struggle hasn't reached its conclusive destination. We will continue to drink from the wisdom that drops from his lips. And now, people must not believe when you say my leadership. Sorry, my brother, there is no my leadership. Yes, I am the face that is seen now as the person who is running the affairs of this movement. But I'm not the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. One leader we have. There can't be 2 captains in a ship. It doesn't happen.
But
otherwise,
now
you're gonna have
the mantle have fallen no matter what is the leadership.
Yes.
So,
well,
now is your leadership weak?
No, my leadership, of course, is not weak. I'm coming to that, Mazi. I'm coming to that question. My leadership, or if I even agree to use the word, the leadership of this very present leadership, I don't ascribe it just to me. And you may think, yes, Edoziem is the one at the head of it. We have a team that is doing this work, and I'm not going to take any credit personally for whatever that comes out of it. And also, now, the leadership that you have is not weak. What I was about to say is that people must stop believing or thinking that there are two leadership. There's no two leadership. It has always been one leadership. The DOS has existed as before Oyendu's illegal rendition, and we were working on the ground. I mean, nobody heard much about us. We were doing our job. Now, we are still doing our job as our leader, one leader, as our leader has mandated us to do. Every decision that this leadership have taken, or that I have taken as the head of the directorate, every of those decisions are part and parcel of the wider decision of the supreme leader of this very great movement. So this leadership is not weak, but people do not know that in a struggle like ours, you must be ahead of your enemy. You must be ahead of your enemy. And I can tell you that we are ahead of our enemy. You must be tactical in your approach. You must see beyond tomorrow. And I must continue to say that we have the blessing to have Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as a leader who has seen tomorrow, who has seen what is happening today, and who has prepared us for this very moment that we are in. And so we are working in accordance to the fundamental principles of this very great movement. We have not derailed one bit, and we will not derail one bit. It is not a question of weak. The question of weakness doesn't even arise as a matter of fact. So I don't know how best to explain it to you, but this, if I begin to roll out or to enumerate our successes today, I think we'll probably will stay here for a very long time. But those who are core IPOB family members, those who are committed to the struggle, who are both in physical and in spirit, are tied with this movement, they understand where we are going and, of course, where we are coming from. So my leadership, I'll take it. My leadership is not weak, not in the least, and it will not be weak. If you say my leadership, anybody who thinks that my leadership is weak, then that means we may be, doing things that are contrary to the set objective of this movement. But that is not the case, Mazi. That at all is not the case. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So the withdrawal or the going back or backing down, anyhow you might say it or you might see it, on some hardline decisions you have made is not weakness or should not be referred to as weakness.
It cannot be. It's a it's a tactical move. It's a tactical move that we have. In fact, those who are honest to themselves will be seeing the result of those tactical moves, and they are yielding positive results, which, as a matter of fact, is tailored towards one thing. One thing majorly, and that major thing is that our leader must be released, and then following that is that Biafra must be restored. There is nothing. We are not deviating. And don't forget, if those who are project managers, there's no way when you're managing a project, you have set up a project, you have done the planning and all the rest. It comes to a stage that there has to be some amendments, some adjustments in your project. You do not say that somebody will say, this man did not do his homework well. Now, why is he, making adjustments on that project? And forgetting that if that adjustment in that project is not made, the holistic outcome of that project, of course, may not turn out well. So we are marching as we are supposed to, and we will continue to do things that we have to do for the benefit of the struggle, for the release of our leader and for the coming of Biafra. And we are not wavering in that direction at all. Thank you, Mazi.
Thank you. Though you have addressed it a bit, I can say, but let me also say, because it is in the minds of people. Some people will love to hear you speak like Onyendu, but you're always soft-spoken. What will you tell these people? They want you to speak vibrantly the way Onyendu used to speak. But lo and behold, the head of the Directorate of States, our head of Directorate of States, is a soft speaker. That is what some people used to see and used to say.
Yes.
What do you tell these people, please?
Well, I tell them that you do not give what you do not have. It's not possible. You cannot give what you do not have. Now, what I mean by that is that it is not about the methodology of giving the message. The important thing is the message. And I said that there can never be two Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It's not possible. It's not. Gifts are different. Chukwu Abiyama gives us gifts, different gifts to different individuals. So if Onyendu vibrates, and which I love when he vibrates. In fact, my goodness me, I love it. But I'm not a copycat, and IPOB people, we are not copycats in the sense that you begin to try to force yourself to speak like Onyendu when you know you do not have that gift to speak like him. It makes a mockery of not only yourself, but also it tries to make people think that the person that you're emulating probably may have learned it from anybody else. No, he didn't learn it from anybody else. Take for example, look, I'm not comparing myself with anybody, but there are our eternal leader wasn't also he was not as vibrant as our leader. He was not as vibrant. He did not roll like our leader. Sometimes he will roll, of course. Sometimes, and which also that you can agree. Sometimes when the situation warrants it, my tone will definitely change. But in giving my message to our people, it does not. It must not be that I have to, try to take a how will I say it now? Try to wear a clothing that actually will not fit onto me. It will be deceptive, and we are not deceptive in IPOB, Mazi. Thank you.
Okay, can you state here some actions and efforts you are taking for the unconditional release of our leader?
Efforts and actions are ongoing and on different fronts. There are things better not said because I know that our enemies are listening. And I can remember at the time, some people used to tell our leader, Onyendu, please calm down. Don't tell them everything so that they will not know where we're coming. But that is Onyendu. Onyendu will tell you if he will go ahead and still he will tell you, I will tell you what I'm going to do before I do it, so that you will know that when the time comes, I did it. That is our leader. And there can't be two Mazi Nnamdi. But we are doing everything that this leadership believes will lead us to our ultimate objective. That is the release of our leader. No stone will be left unturned on every front, be it on legal front, be it on consultation or communication with those who have our interests at heart, within and outside of the zoo, of course, because we still have very, very eminent, not too many, but we have some very eminent, very honest and trustworthy elders in Biafra land. And an example of them I don't want to begin to say now because I know that is what some of our enemies are waiting for. Once you begin to eulogize somebody, they will put a spanner on the wheel of progress. So, but we know we have very eminent people who are engaged in one way or the other because they know that this man has done nothing wrong. Why are you holding? Why are you incarcerating? Why have you put him in detention? He has done nothing wrong. He's asking for what is rightful. So, and they have understood. It took them a while to understand, but and in our own language, they said, mbonye jiteta bolototia, and better late than never as well. So, I can assure you that at the end of it, whether it is physical action that we have to do and spiritual battle, we are engaged in all these fronts. We are engaged in them, and the end of it all will be glory to Chukwuabiama, praises unto his holy name, and of course, great joy for the Biafran people, because our leader must be released, and Biafra shall come. Under his watch, and I hasten to add, under the watch of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Biafra is coming. Thank you, Mazi.
Thank you. In general, and in your perception, I want to ask you now personally, how is IPOB faring worldwide? How is IPOB faring? Are there internal problems or confusion in IPOB, as some people might insinuate? How is IPOB faring?
Internal problems, no. The family is intact, fully intact. Did we have challenges a couple of months back? Yes, we did. We had the challenges, which same challenges we had in 2015. Don't forget, I always say that is the reason why the zoo took away history away from their curriculum for the school children. Because without you knowing your past, you wouldn't even know how to, put your future together. So history is on our side. We learned. Many of us at the leadership echelon at this very moment, we were there when it happened. We remained devoted and committed. We remained loyal to the principles of this movement, and of course to the leader of this very great movement. And we learned a great deal of lessons out of what happened in 2015 and what happened in 2017 during the unholy invasion of Afaruku, that is the homestead of our leader, with a single purpose, to spill his blood, to eliminate him. People have believed. In fact, they knew at that time, they knew that this man is on a mission. He's on a mission, and nothing can stop the mission from being realized, because he is not on a mission that he, took upon himself for the sake of taking up a mission upon himself. That mission is a mission that heaven has mandated him to do. And Oyendu said, if he had known what is coming, that our people are so stiff-necked, he will have chosen the option that was given to him, than be this. But this is at the moment when he feels that, people are being, their chains are being, caught up. They are being told that they are in chains, that are in slavery, but they prefer to continue to be in slavery. So, but at this very quiet moment, he continues to fight for his people, and he will continue to fight for his people. So, to go back to your question, IPOB had challenges that we already had in 2015, and by the time when the dust settled and we had to, look very, very deep into what was happening, we found out that there was, and there is still, if I hasten to add, there is still the plan to deliberately disorganize this movement. They tried it, my brother. They tried it in 2015. They failed. They followed the line of trying to eliminate our leader. They failed again. Now, this is their last trial, and I must promise you that this is their last trial because it is their last card that they are playing. So they thought if we couldn't kill this man, they went to Kenya, and with the intention, if it was you and I that received the torture our leader received in Kenya, we will have been RIP by now. We will have been gone. But I keep on telling people that this man is on a mission, and heaven will not, as long as he keeps his hand clean and continue on the path of truth that he has continued up to this moment, there is nothing flesh can do to him. They can try. They have poisoned him how many times? Have they killed him? They won't kill him. They can't kill him because his life is not in his hand, and it's not in the hand of the mortal man. So therefore, when they realized that now they took him and they said, okay, now we have your leader. Let's see if we will now do what we were not able to do in 2015. And those of us who also were given the spiritual discernment, we discerned what was happening, and we rallied. It was let me say, not really. I want to feel for many Biafrans because of their love for Nyendu, and when all these things were flowing, flying here and there, they were like insecure, and they were not sure what is what. But I can tell you that the storm that these people deliberately wanted to start, as far as this movement is concerned, is over and done with. We are focused on our objective and our agenda. We are committed and devoted to our assignments and our duties, and we are not letting anything or anybody, distract us or try to make us deviate from those things. So IPOB family is intact. The leadership of IPOB family is intact. The supreme leader of this movement, it is not in question. That was why I said, I think that was my heart broker, that there is no vacancy. Those who are trotting up and down thinking that maybe they want to see if they can create a tripod or create a DSS pop or whatever they call it. All those nonsense that the zoo tried many times before. It cannot hold water in IPOB. The family is solid and intact. Mazi, thank you so much.
Okay, owing to this year, the answer to this question, which I asked, I'm in the media, I'm on radio here. Many people used to call. Some people you can call and start talking about, unity. Let us be united. Let us join together. So what do you tell this type of people that usually calls Radio Biafra and talks about unity and joining together, which sometimes I cannot understand? Please.
But I want to ask you. Yes, I want to ask you, but probably rhetorically, but unity and come together with who? With who? I want to ask. IPOB family has no issue of unity. We are one. So the issue of uniting the family does not arise in the first place. So if they are talking about IPOB being united, we are united. We are solid, my brother, solid. I repeat that word. And so there's no, it's immaterial. Is of course doesn't make sense talking about unity of a movement that is united in one purpose, in one objective. What unity? And if they ask, unite with who? With who? I want to ask them back. If they tell you with who, then you can probably next time tell me. I will be able to answer them. But this family is intact, very much united, Mazi.
Tough talk, tough talk, tough talk, tough talk, tough talk, tough talk.
You are listening to Tough Talk coming to you via Radio Biafra Hausa service.
Welcome back, listeners all over the globe. Do not forget that today our guest is Mazi Doziem, the head of the Directorate of Affairs of the Indigenous People of Biafra, in this Tough Talk program. Here we pose questions and answer them without being politically correct. We are apolitical. And today is the 4th day of December 2021, being Saturday. We will move on. Mazi, in a few minutes, please, I want you to address the indigenous people of Biafra right now, all over the world hearing you. Please, can you address them?
Yes, thank you. Of course, I will address the lovely and wonderful Biafran people, generally and specifically the family members of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, led by our indefatigable and resolute Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We say in IPOB, one family. IPOB, one family. IPOB, one family. Now, that is what we are. You know, you were talking about unity. It is only where there is a division that the issue of unity or, mending fences actually becomes a topic. But where there is no division, what is the talk about unity? People can go rogue. I mean, there may be we will be sanitizing if there is any inkling or any sign that any member of IPOB or any principal servant is derailing. Normally what we do, and what I've learned from our leader, is that we try to guide this person properly. Maybe they haven't understood exactly what this is all about and why they are here. We try to guide them properly. And we only use the hammer, if I use the word, if it becomes very obvious that such a person is not amenable to reason and is not really into this very struggle for the reason for which the struggle or the movement was put in place. Now, the wonderful Biafran people all over the world, once again, I want to tell you that the leadership of IPOB, the Directorate of State, is working and serving the Biafran people. It is, in fact, what is obtaining at the moment, what is happening at the moment in IPOB leadership and worldwide is what we want to let our people understand, that there is really people who can make sacrifices for others. It used to be part of our way of life. It used to be part of our ancestors' way of life. There was a man, Macaulay, he calls himself, I think he's a British man. When he visited certain parts of Africa, he said that he never saw thieves in this. He was called an Africa country actually, but he never saw thieves in this country. He never saw mad people, homeless people in this country. That was the way of, because our ancestors knew how to be their neighbor's keeper. They knew how to look out for their neighbors. It was a communal way of life. Nobody lacked much, as a matter of fact, that at those days, you go to a farmland or where somebody, in a market where somebody had his wares and the person is not there, but the price of the wares are there. You take the what you want to take and you put the money there for the owner. You don't take the property and go away, because the land will of course not let you be if such things if it happened at that time. But the corruption that came into our land had caused many of us, or in fact has caused the land to be in the sorry situation, in the sorry state in which it is at the moment. So the IPOB members must understand that as volunteers that we are called upon to serve our people at each moment, at each stage of our participation in this struggle. The focus must be what benefits the Biafran people, not you or me, who may be given the opportunity to be in a position of service. It's not about you. It is about the people. So that is what our leader has taught us. That is what we have learned. That is what we have seen from him. So I am now addressing Biafrans. I'm not addressing you, the usual way, but I want you to search, to, have a conversation with yourself and understand that the Biafra we are pursuing is a Biafra where the people will be the center. They will be at the center stage. The people, every policy that will be put in place will be a people-centered policy. And I will leave the details for our leader when he comes out, of course. But Biafrans must know that this journey that we have embarked upon is a journey of that it is more than a journey of freedom and liberty. It is a journey of rediscovering who we are, who we used to be. And that is why I say always that Biafra is our identity. And when you know the meaning of Biafra, when you know what Biafra connotes, when you know when you talk about Biafra, it brings fear into your enemies, then you will know that you must not play with that name, Biafra, and we must protect it. We must protect it. If it means that we must protect it with our blood, we must protect the rising sun with our blood. We must protect Biafra with our blood. So, I will ask our people tonight. The journey, of course, is not a tea party. We are honest to ourselves. We are not. We do not massage, things. And ironically, I am on the Tough Talk program tonight. So I am going to say it the way it is. It is not a tea party journey. People must not believe that in a freedom fighting, it's always going to be a smooth sail. It cannot be a smooth sail because it's a fight. And when you are in a fight, you do not fight alone. You fight with somebody. So while you are doing all you have to do, your opponent is trying to counter you. So when we have that at the back of our mind, that we must remain together, we must remain consistent, we must remain devoted, we must remain loyal to the principles that is the foundation of this movement. When we realize that and when we put it into practice, I tell you that nothing and nobody can stand on our way to achieve our objective. Therefore, wonderful and great Biafran people, we will continue to ensure that every stone, no stone, in fact, let me put it this way, every stone is unturned. Every stone must be unturned to ensure that our leader regains and rejoins us sooner than later. And then we continue on our march to freedom. There is no stopping. There can't be stopping. The train has left the station, and we are heading fast and consciously to a free, sovereign, and independent Biafran nation. I encourage you to continue to do your little part in whatever form, in whatever area you have found yourself. I commend you and I urge you not to allow yourself to be bamboozled by those who are paid agents. You can see it. You can see it with your eyes. You can hear it with your ear. You can feel it if your spirit. If you have the spirit of Biafra, you cannot miss. You cannot miss that there are those who are out to make sure that Biafra does not come, because Biafra is it is the spirit that drives away the evil spirit, and that will drive away the evil spirit that is embedded in the Zoological Republic of Nigeria. Mazi, I think I'll leave it for now at this. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, as we are inching closer towards the end of this program. But I will love to ask you some personal questions, which Biafrans will also love to hear of those our listeners all around the world. Do you speak any other language apart from Igbo and English?
Yes, I speak German.
You speak German. Can you just in a sentence say hi to everybody in German?
Yeah. Well, yeah, of course. Ich beginne mit Guten Abend, great, wonderful and great Biafran people. Ich hoffe, dass heute Sie haben Sie sind jetzt zu Hause, ich glaube, und dass Sie sind entweder ruhig Abend mit einer Familie oder in Ausgang mit Kollegen und Kollegen. Also ich wünsche euch heute Nacht noch eine schöne, wunderschöne guten Abend und gute Nacht. Ein guter Ausgang für die Leute, die heute in Ausgang sind oder möchte noch in Ausgang gehen. Dankeschön.
Thank you. There, well, great Biafrans. Let me ask you also, do you love, which sports is your favorite sports? Do you love any sports?
Football. I played, as a matter of fact, I played football to very well. I love football. My primary school, my secondary school, to my university time, I played soccer all this while. So I love football, yes.
Thank you. Just like me, because I played number 9, a goal scorer. Okay. Wonderful. So we shall move towards the end of this program, but I will not go or end this program without telling you this, that many people will love you or to love to hear you. Can you sing the first stanza of the Biafra National Anthem, please? Sing it. Let's hear your voice. Our HOD.
Okay. All right. I will have to stand up in honor and respect.
Of course, I'm even standing up.
Yes. And there is something I learned from Dr. Okachi Lois in one of our there's something I learned from Dr. Okachi Lois in one of our engagements in Bruises, and I'm going to start with that.
Go on.
Mi re mi fa, mi re mi do re re mi. Land of the rising sun, we love and cherish. Beloved homeland of our brave heroes, we must defend our lives, or we shall perish. We shall protect our lives from all our foes. But if the prize is death, or all we hold dear, then let us die without a shred of fear.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Olugogele. Were you in a choir?
Not at all.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Great Biafrans and lovers of freedom worldwide. This is where we are going to end this program. This is starting. More are yet to come as time goes on. You have it. The person you have his voice is Mazi Chika Edoziem, the head of the Directorate of Days of the Indigenous People of Biafra. You have heard it from him, and I hope that as time goes on, you will also continue hearing from others. Therefore, Mazi Chika Edoziem, I once again say thank you very much for being our guest today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mazi, Jonathan, for having me, and thank you, wonderful, lovely and great Biafrans for listening tonight. And I commend you into the hand of Elohim. May Chukwu Abiyama continue to be with you all. Remain committed, remain devoted. Devotion is what is required of us. Commitment is what is required of us. Focus is what is required of us. And above all, faithful and loyal to the only spirit leader of this great movement. And with that, we are marching home sooner than the enemy even can contemplate. Watch out, we are coming. You will see that we are not joking on what we are doing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mazi, and thank you, listeners from all over the world.
The more we fight
have a good night.
Together, the more we fight together, and stronger we shall be. The more we fight together, the more we fight together, and stronger we shall be.